Started off day 4 by trying a jeju specialty pastry called the jeju manju, which tastes like a traditional pastry from where I come from, so it's a no for me. The first official destination of the day was the Halim Park. Oh my god, let me tell you, that is the mother of all parks. There are literally parks in this huge park. It's so crazy. There were literally so many things you could see there. Plants, bonsais, cherry blossoms, tulips, animals, whatever. As long as you think of a park, whatever related to a park you can see in that huge park. All sorts of flowers and trees and statues. Yeah, you get the drift. Literally the biggest park I have been to in my life up till now. There were also caves in the park. Can you imagine that? Like caves in a park? What on earth? And you know what the craziest thing about it is? There is not only one cave. There are caves after caves after caves after caves. There were at least 4 caves, at least, in one park. How crazy is that? Thankfully, the journey throughout each cave was only around 5 to 10 minutes. If you took your time, it would take maybe about 15 to 20 minutes per cave. There were all sorts of other flowers, but I think we mainly went there to visit the caves and also the king cherry blossoms. Is that what they're called? Very, very pretty. It is always a pleasure to look at flowers. Yes, there was also a Korean folk village in that park. At this point of time, it's already a little absurd because I don't know, what do you guys think, man? Just let me know. You could totally spend one full day just walking around that huge park, but for us, because we were rushing, we skipped some of the parks and only chose the ones we wanted to see. There were also animals and we got to see a peacock spreading its feathers. What luck. And yes, we got to see an albino peacock spread its feathers too. Wow, I love albino animals. Just look at how majestic and beautiful that animal is. Wow. Actually, I think we would have seen enough cherry blossoms by now since it's already day 4, but I guess it's never enough, huh? There was also a canola field in that particular park with the king cherry blossoms, and it made such a pretty sight. Of course, we gotta take some of these pretentious shots for the video just to document it because I loved that park the most. I am the biggest museum fan, so of course we had to visit some of these museums in Jeju. The first stop is the very, very famous Osulok Tea Museum. It is indeed a pretty place, but after visiting the place myself, I do feel that it is quite a bit overhyped by the internet. We tried out some of their desserts. I had the milk ice cream. The flavor was really, really milky. I really liked it, but the texture was a little bit more on the icy side instead of the creamy side, which I did not mind. Also, if you appreciate peace like I do, I suggest you can enjoy your desserts on the rooftop instead of in the cafe itself because there were so many people in the cafe. It was so noisy. There was also a souvenir shop so you can buy some of their items back home. You can also find these shops around Seoul as well, also Osulok shops. There were also quite a few interesting items. If you are a fan of green tea like I am, I suggest you can buy some of their matcha back home to try. We also visited the Innisfree Jeju house. It's just a huge Innisfree. There was some hands-on activity which you could try out, and there was also the Innisfree shop. If you had anything you wanted to buy from there, you could. Here are just some of the items you can find at the Innisfree Jeju house. There was also a small corner which you could get a free souvenir, basically just a postcard, and there were some stamps which you could use to customize your own little postcard, which was quite cute. Of course, I had to have a go at it, so here is me stamping my one and only postcard. There were various stamps for you to choose from so that you could customize your one-in-the-world postcard. There were also huge tea plantations everywhere, and the place in general just had quite a chill and quiet vibe. Ooh, lunch. I love this place. One of my favorites as well. It is actually a makguksu chip. We had the pibim makguksu, some regular makguksu, and also suyuk. I had to give a special shout out to the suyuk. Best boiled pork I ever had in my whole entire life. Chef's kiss. And of course, as a museum fan, I had to go to the Ponte Museum. I love that place so much. The exhibitions, the architecture, the whole vibe there, everything was right up my alley. It was such a beautiful place. My sister also really wanted to go there because she wanted to see the architecture there as well. If you've been to quite a few museums, I would say the things you could see there, you might have seen in some other museums. For me, a big part of the whole experience for this museum is also the architecture of that place. The place is designed by world-renowned architect Tadao Ando. There was also a mini exhibition there by Tadao Ando, and it is my favorite. exhibition in the whole museum. It is one of the rare moments where an exhibition actually evoked so many feelings inside of me. Maybe through the video it might be a little bit hard to experience the whole thing, but I actually wanted to put the whole clip in here to share this experience with you because I really liked this exhibition so much. It's crazy how this little maze-like exhibition can make you feel so many things, or at least make me feel so many things. It kind of left me in awe. If you also love museums like I do, I really recommend you check this museum out should you ever go to Jeju-do. What you see here is just a fraction of the whole museum. There were 6 galleries. There were also exhibitions by Kusama Yayoi. There was also an exhibition of various traditional Korean paintings in a temperature-controlled room that left an impression on me, but I did not take any footage of it because photography was not allowed in that gallery. There were so many things you could see there, but it was a huge pity because we were rushing for time, so we had to see everything in the shortest amount of time possible. If you take your time, you can actually spend a full day there. If I have a chance, I would want to go back here again. There was a souvenir shop in the museum and they also had a cafe there. However, if museums are not really your thing, or if you are a first-time museum goer, I wouldn't recommend this museum to you because it might be a little boring. However, instead of Ponte Museum, I would recommend that you go to this next museum that we also visited. It is called the Arte Museum. It is the largest immersive media art museum in Korea with beautiful light and soundscape exhibition halls in a spacious, remodeled former factory. It is a great starter museum if you are a first-time museum goer or if you are a museum hater. Both my aunt and my mom are not museum people, but they really enjoyed this experience. And now sound on so I can share some of these experiences with you. We ended the day in a restaurant we randomly found, and it was my favorite restaurant of the whole entire trip. The best meal I had in my trip to South Korea, and it's not even Korean food. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one!